Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a good day so far. Start to the week. Wanted to talk about Tiger Woods in his car accident. It's been almost a week. It was last Tuesday. It was at 7 a.m. Lucky to be alive. He did sustain some major injuries. I'd be surprised. He said with his. I'm not sure if all of you saw the footage of it, but they took helicopter footage of where his car ended up and where the accident took place. I guess he was driving at a really high rate of speed and jumped the median. And they had a picture of photos of the wreckage and video footage of where his car ended up. Pretty bad shape. He had removed from the car with the jaws of life, which I wasn't familiar. I had never heard of that. I didn't know what that was. Had to look that up. But yeah, it's amazing that he didn't kill anybody else and that he's okay himself, even though he sustained some major injuries. He said that guy is just like an accident waiting to happen. I mean, he had a DUI a number of years ago and then the 120 affairs. It seemed like he gets off on being a big risk taker. I'm surprised at 7 in the morning that there was nobody coming the other direction. That's like, I'm not sure, I'm not familiar with that area or how much traffic is in that area. But yeah, 7 o'clock in a weekday, you think it'd be prime rush hour traffic. There would have been people in front of him, people behind him, people coming the other direction. And I don't know if that's like a rural area where he was, but he just got finished with his fifth back surgery. I guess from 2014 to 2017, he had 4 back surgeries. Now he had another one, and he was just about to do an MRI to see if he could play in the Masters next month. Well, so much for that now. he said, I don't know if this is probably before he realized the severity of his injuries, but he said he was hoping to be playing golf by the end of this year. I'll be surprised if he ever plays again, because I think that they're going to have he did suffer a broken right leg. He had fractures and shattered two major bones in his right leg, and they broke through the skin. And he also suffered major injuries to his foot and his ankle. I think that they're going to have, was it his ankle or his leg? They're going to have a post or in there, or pins in his ankle. Like, that's really going to, if he ever plays golf again, which I don't think he will, and that he's definitely not going to be the same golfer, but it's going to be really hard for him to play. Yeah, I'm surprised that he actually did win the was it the U.S. Open in 2019. I was very surprised. I didn't think he'd ever win another major again. His career has severely gone downhill after those 120 affairs. That was back in was that 2009 or 2010, and then the DUI a few years after that, and the back surgeries, and now this. He's definitely a big. Seemed like a big. He gets off on risk taking. Yeah, he actually admitted that with his affairs. He was just because with they determined he was driving at a high rate of speed, and he didn't release too much of a statement about that. He just said he was thankful for all the people that reached out to him, and he's in this tough time for him. But he had determined he was driving at a high rate of speed, and yeah, my first thought, because I didn't know it had happened at 7 in the morning, my first thought, oh, he was probably drinking and driving again. But yeah, it didn't appear that there was any alcohol. He didn't appear to be under the influence of anything. But yeah, he rolled over several times, and it's really amazing with his back surgeries, and just having this fifth back surgery. Imagine his back wasn't in the best shape, and amazed that he's not like paralyzed or anything like that, because they say that you roll over, you're at a pretty especially multiple times like that, you're at a high risk for paralysis, because just that rolling over can put a lot of pressure on your spinal cord, and especially after him having 5 back surgeries. And I was never really a fan of Tiger Woods. I thought that he was really, I mean, he has done some impressive things, but I thought that he was really overrated just because of the fact of the things that, getting onto the tour when he was only 20 years old. And I think he was on the tour as an amateur. He was allowed before he turned pro. I think he got on the tour at the age of 17 in 1990. Was it 1994? Yeah, before I think it was in 1996 when he was 20 that he, or is it 1997 he was 20? I think he got on in 1996 when he was 19. But I remember him being on the amateur tour when he was only 17 in 1994, and they talked about all these. Kind of, it's like it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's not like he got any money for it, but they talked about all these accomplishments that he had made at such a young age. I feel like it just doesn't sound possible to me. And his dad's like the only witness to it. His dad's passed away now, and I mean, there's nothing really to be gained out of it. Like I said, Tiger Woods didn't get a penny for it other than this recognition. But supposedly, I just find it very hard to believe. But his dad put a lot of. His dad was a good golfer, unless he just had golf in his blood. But it sounded like his dad did put a lot of pressure on him to be the golfer that he was at such a young age. It should be fun, It's like I want my daughter to play basketball. I'm gonna support her no matter how good she plays, no matter how poorly she plays. If she even does play at all, I don't know. She may not even want to play, but I think she's definitely tall. She's already 5'3", and or close to 5'3". She's only 10 years old. I think she'll be tall for a woman. She already is, but I think she'll be tall when she gets to be the high school age, junior high age. But yeah, supposedly Tiger Woods, I guess when he was only 18 months of age, his father got him he used to bring him in like a high chair to watch him play at the driving range. And I thought he was so overrated just because of all these things he accomplished in his young age. But I guess when he was only 18 months of age, he played a hole with his dad. He had like a cut down iron. I'm not sure what iron it was, but a 410 yard par 4, and supposedly he got an 11 on the hole. That was like the first hole he ever played, which, again, I just don't see how that's possible. Again, Tiger Woods, it wasn't like he was at a huge height at 18 months of age, and then when he was only 3, he played, and supposedly he played from the men's tees. He didn't play from the women's tees. He played the same tees with his dad, and he shot he broke 50 for the first time. He shot 48 for 9 holes. And then when he was like 11, he shot a 70. He was like out driving his dad. It's just, I don't know. I find that very hard to believe. And then his dad was only witness to this. It just seems really odd if somebody would be able to, outdrive his dad at that age. And like I said, he wasn't really majorly tall. You think you would need a certain arm length in order to hit a certain distance in order to be able to maneuver a club. I think if the club were longer than your arm, like you wouldn't be able to control it very well, especially a driver. My gosh, but I was never really a fan of Tiger Woods. I'm not jealous or anything like that, but I felt like I was never a fan. I thought he was overrated for that reason, and it just wasn't really like a lot of professional athletes. They're not really good role models. I mean, Michael Jordan, I respect him. He was amazing for what he did on the court, but I think a lot of us can agree with his gambling and his partying, things that he did. He wasn't really the best role model. A lot of professional athletes aren't, the way they cry to umpires and referees and things they do off the court, off the field. And, Tiger Woods, when he was, I did see him at the Western Open when, I think it was when, it was at his first or second year on tour, and he was like 20 years old, and he was in a bad spot. And he did hit his tee shot off to the right. He was like near a tree. He had to punch for those who don't know what a punch shot is, it's where you purposely keep the ball low to go under like a tree branch or whatever obstacle you may be facing. And he hit the ball into the right rough, and he had tree branches overhanging him from, not too far in front, maybe 40 or 50 yards in front. He hit a punch shot, got the ball onto the green. Yeah, he should have been happy that he got on the green, but he still had a good distance to. This was at the Western Open in 1997, but he still had a good distance to the flagstick. He was definitely not an easy two-putt. I don't remember if he two-putted or not, but he was maybe like 40 feet away, and he wasn't happy with that, and someone yelled out to him like, "Oh, good, nice shot, Tiger," and he was pissed about it. He didn't think it was a good shot. He's like, "Oh, fuck you," and then the guy was like shocked. A lot of us were shocked, and I was thinking, I didn't say anything, but I was thinking to myself, like, wow, that's a real classy move. And then this guy next to me, he was like, huh. He's like, that's not really a good role model for children, And I was thinking, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. There were children around, and I don't know if that shot was televised, because you know, they tell everybody to be real quiet, and a lot of times people don't make any noise until the ball has come to rest, you know, to determine whether it's a good shot or a bad shot. And, you know, they usually, if it's a good shot, they'll usually clap, you know, and remember, it was pretty quiet. I wonder if that shot was televised. They picked it up. I do remember him hitting a bad shot one time, and the camera audio picked it up, and he said fuck, and, you know, yeah, I just was never a really big fan of him from that point on, and especially when all that shit happened with his affairs, 120 affairs. I'm amazed he even had time for that, and then he took a little hiatus from golf, professional golf for a while until he got his life straightened out. But yeah, I thought that was really not a good example of you setting for children. Didn't really make him a good role model, just like a lot of professional athletes don't make themselves out to be good role models. But that was really shocking in his career. Definitely, you know, I didn't think he would win another major. He did win. I'm not sure if it was that was the only one. I know he won the 2019 U.S. Open, but I don't know if he's won any other majors prior to that. From like, that was his affair was like 2000. The whole thing with his affairs was 2009 to 2010, around that time slot, and then this DUI. I think that was 2012. I don't know if that's the only major he won since then. I didn't think he'd win another major, but I'll be surprised if he's ever playing golf again. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Not a fan of Tiger Woods, and it'll be interesting to see if he's ever able to play on tour again or play golf at all, if he ever wins another major, if he becomes same player. You know, my former bull, Derrick Rose, a lot of people predicted that, yeah, he's, you know, he isn't the same player, but he's still pretty darn good. But a lot of people thought that he'd never be the same player again, which he, you know, that was almost 10 years ago, which he wasn't. But he did have that 50-point game a couple years ago with the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was showing signs of his former self, so he still shows signs of his former self. The you know, the youngest MVP ever was the 20-year-old MVP, or 22-year-old MVP back in 2011, the year before he tore his ACL. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Comment, like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all real soon in another great video. Have a great week, everybody. Take care. Bye.